Hey YouTube, this is Gunner. Now I'm gonna do another fanfic reading. Well, anyways, there was actually, yeah, I found this story when I was just searching on fanfiction, to read something that will gain my interest, and this one actually kind of gained my interest. So I found it. I think I found it on the trollfic group page. Either that or Fullcon. I don't remember. Well, the story is called Spike's Curiosity by Desolated Brony. Hold on, let me go back and read the description. When Spike was cleaning Twilight's library, he notices a dirty magazine. Spike accumulates curiosity and leads the CMCs into no good. Warning: sexual content. You have been warned. As of right now, it is incomplete. Let's see. There's actually like there's three chapters, all of them involving the Kingdom Crusaders. The last chapter. The last that was updated was June 15th. So, no, I don't know. I don't know if he's on break or I don't know if he's on break or whatever. So, I'm gonna read what's on there, and well, actually, I'm just gonna read one chapter for now since I'm gonna be going to my grandma's for the week. So, yeah. Alright. Spike's Curiosity by Desolated Brony. Chapter 1. Applebloom. Okay, Twilight. I'm awake. Spike growled at Twilight, who snatched his blanket unconvinced. Spike opened his weary eyes as they refused to stay open. The morning light relentlessly shined on his face. It's too early, Spike thought, seeing Twilight in front of him smiling and holding his blanket. There was only one day that Twilight got up this early. You know what today is, Spike? Twilight said with glee. Spike simply yawned. That's right, it's Reshelving Day! She beamed, more over-enthusiastically than most normal ponies would. I've already made you breakfast, so when you're down, you can help me organize, she said, trotting downstairs. All right. Spike complied as he made his way downstairs towards his awaiting breakfast. As he approached the living room at a lazy pace, seeing a very similar library, but now, however, covered in books, surrounded by smiling Twilight. Go ahead and eat your breakfast, Spike. I made egg and daisy sandwiches. Twilight announced, pointing a hoof towards the kitchen. Hooray! Spike said in a sarcastic tone, gaining an annoyed glare from the unicorn. Spike then walked over to the table and proceeded to eat his breakfast, watching as Twilight throwing books on the floor and picking up others to reshelve them. Twilight's cooking wasn't exactly the best, but it didn't take long for Spike to gobble down his meal, ready to begin helping with the reshelving effort. So, what do you want me to do? Spike asked. Twilight looked around, trying to find her assistant something to busy himself. Ooh, why don't you help me alphabetize this pile? A starts here, over there's the M's, and at the very end is Z. Twilight said, pointing at the shelves at the library. Okay, got it. Spike agreed, grabbing one of the books from the pile and started to organize them. It was not soon after he started to finish up the pile that there was a knock on the door, drawing Twilight's attention. Coming! Twilight then placed the books she was levitating down and trotted towards the door. As she opened the door, she saw that it was none other than her bounty friend Pinkie Pie. Hiya, Twilight! Pinkie sang as she bounced away to the... You know what today is? Twilight put her hoof to her chin as she thought of the importance of today was. Today's the day that you first came to Ponyville, remember? Oh, Twilight said, lifting a book, trying to organize and hold a conversation up with the pony. Yep, and... Oh, wait a minute. Yep, and when we saw that today was our friendship anniversary, I knew I just had to come come here to invite you to the party. Pinky explained to her purple friend while it's hopping all over the walls of glee. Rarity and I wanted to make sure you came with me to help decorate and plan the party at Sweet Apple Acres. It'll be a complete surprise. You should come. It'll be fun. Pinky said, now looking towards Twilight for approval. I don't know, Pinky. I'll definitely go to your party, but I'm not sure I can spend the whole day decorating. Twilight replied. It is reshelving day, by the way, she added to the pink earth pony. Pinkie Pie's eyes grew wide as she attempted to convince her to help redecorate. Oh, come on, Twilight. Can you help me this one time, please? Pinkie Pie asked with a quivering lip. Pinky, I need to shelve all these books before sundown. I can't just leave them there. Twilight remarked as she gave no sign of interest in Pinky's puppy dog face. I'll sort them. Spike interrupted as both mares looked at him, startled with the other merriment. Really, Spike? You do that for me? Twilight asked with an unconvinced tone. Yeah, sure. I'll help you sort these books, and I'll meet you at Applejack's before sundown. No problem. Spike reassured. Oh, thank you, Spike. It's very kind of you. Twilight said, giving him an appreciative smile. Hey, don't mention it. Spike replied politely. Woohoo! Thanks, Spike. Pinky cheered, making her way out of the library. Yeah, thanks, Spike. You are my #1 assistant. Twilight said as she left the library. The door shut with a slam, and Spike found himself biting off more than he could chew. I'm your only assistant, he said aloud as he looked at the pile of books awaiting him. It had been at least 2 whole hours of sorting and shelving when it really got to him. Spike dropped a book unexpectedly. Ah, claw cramp! I guess claw cramps are his equivalent to carpal tunnel. Spike cried as he held his claw in pain. He then sat down and tried to massage his claw until the pain finally stopped. He decided that now would be the perfect time to take a water break, rest his claws, and maybe take a look at one of the books Twilight had in her collection. Of all the books that Spike could pick up, he grabbed the one book that he wasn't supposed to see. Spike looked at one of the few piles of books left and grabbed what looked like a magazine. He ignored the cover and flipped to the first page. What Spike had found confused and baffled him. He saw on the second page was a completely naked mare lying belly up and looking at him intimately. Wait a minute. Aren't ponies always naked, except they only close on special occasions? I don't get it. Spike wondered why Twilight would have such a bizarre magazine in her collection of books. At the moment, he felt a new strange feeling in his lower regions and began to flip to another page. If that other picture wasn't confusing enough, this one was discombobulating. He saw a mare being mounted from behind by a stallion that seemed to be placing his private regions into the other mare's personal area. Spike kept flipping through the pages and find more of these. Damn. He saw ponies being mounted on desks, ponies being mounted in beds, and even many of them wrestling in a hospital. Spike stopped his gaze and turned his attention to an article. Super helpful tips on how you make your mare feel completely satisfied. Go on. Spike continued to read on. Make your special mare feel great by trying to keep you bucking at a steady pace. Spike read as the article explained to how to love your mare properly, and soon stopped himself to see that his very own private regions had become stiff and hard. It appears my wee-wee has suffered rigor mortis. What? Hey, what is this? Spike looked at his erection in wonderment, thinking why had his privates grown so drastically. Spike flipped back towards the pictures of the magazine and saw that the very same thing was happening to the stallion in the photo. Hey, this is just like the picture, Spike said aloud. This must be how I... Spike flipped back to the article. Completely satisfy my mare. Spike put the book down, confused and done with the pornographic material. Moments later, he grew worried that his heart member would not go away. Go away! What if Twilight sees you? Spike oddly said to his erection as he tried putting it back into his hiding place. He stood up and tried to finish his chores at an attempt to make his erection go away. A short while after concentrating on getting his work done, his erection was thankfully gone. Spike was now almost finished with reorganizing and was left with one pile of books that were awaiting him. A clicking clock brought his attention as he turned his head towards the wall. Oh no, I'm gonna be late for the party, Spike thought as he looked at the clock and was now behind schedule. Without a moment's hesitation, he made haste and proceed to organize the remainder of the books. It was indeed party time as Pinkie Pie, Twilight, and Rarity were inside the barn finishing up decorations. I think that should do it, Twilight said, perfecting the arrangements of food that lay out on the table. Yes, the arrangements are looking marvelous, I'd say, Rarity said, looking at her profound decorations. Alright, every pony, they'll be here in any minute, Pinkie shouted as she gave a sudden twitch and hid behind the haystacks. Shh, I think that's them. Hide, 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 Pinkie Pie commanded as Twilight and Rarity hid with their pink friend. Well, what the hey is going on here? Applejack said as she saw several other ponies were gathered outside Applejack's door. Hey, you guys got an invitation too? A sign Pegasus said as she looked at the others. Outside the Apple family door were several ponies gathered around the front of the bar questionably. Fluttershy, Applebloom, Scootaloo, Sweetie Belle, Big Macintosh, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack all stood bewildered as each other's attendants. Applejack then proceeded to open the door. Well, we'd better find out. I gotta work tomorrow, and I don't— Surprise! All three ponies yelled as Applejack and the others winced in surprise. What, huh? Rainbow Dash stammered. Were you surprised, huh? Were ya? Pinkie shouted towards the ponies ricocheting off the walls. Hey, what's this for, Pinkie Pie? Applebloom asked. Well, today is the day that we first met Twilight, and I wanted to invite you all here for an anniversary party for her. Pinkie Pie bounced in joy as she saw all of her friends smile. Oh, Pinkie, this is so thoughtful, Fluttershy said, well above a whisper. Well, what's every pony waiting for? Let's party! Rainbow Dash said as Pinkie began playing her favorite party song. I'm late, Spike thought as he ran towards Sweet Apple Acres. The clouds were still, and the moon shined gently against the homes of the citizen ponies. It was surprisingly a warm night, but it still had the unmistakable smell in the air. As he arrived at the farm, he could see that there was no pony there, but he could hear faint music playing from the Apple family's house. Spike opened the front door to see that a party had already been in full swing, seeing Twilight's dance moves, and Pinkie Pie almost done with most of the cupcakes and the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders running around everywhere. He got to the intention of every pony and was friendly welcomed to the party, including Pinkie Pie. Hey Spike, the party just started. Go ahead and grab a cupcake, Pinkie said as she continued to dance around. I hope there's still cupcakes left. Okay, Pinkie, whatever you say. You always throw the best parties, Spike complimented as he saw a wide grin from Pinkie Pie. Spike sat down and helped himself to a cupcake. They were delicious as always as he savored the vanilla treat. He couldn't help but to think of the things he saw in the magazine, and it made him curious and for whatever reasons anxious. Spike looked down and saw that Big Mac was sipping fruit punch somewhat next to him. He figured that he would be the only pony to talk about this sort of thing. Hey, Big Mac? Spike asked as he leaned over. Yup. Have you ever seen pictures of stallions doing weird things to mares? Spike asked honestly. Big Mac did not like where this was going. He gave a glance around to see if any pony was looking. What kind of pictures? Big Macintosh asked hesitantly. Well, I can't really explain them, but the stallion was behind the mare and he put his... Spike's sentence was interrupted by Big Mac's hoof. Okay there, young fella. I think I know what kind of pictures you saw. Big Mac lowered his voice to make sure no pony heard him. Look here, these ponies you saw are for adults only. You understand? Big Mac explained. Spike merely nodded his head. Good. Now we never had this conversation, okay? Big Mac released his hoof as Spike gave him an annoyed expression. Fine, he said somewhat. Oh, fudge. I think I messed up a little, but who cares? With that, Big Mac stood up. He said his goodbyes to every pony and was off to bed to rest from a hard day's work. The rest of the party thought was indeed far from over as every pony began playing charades. Spike sat there and saw that every pony was having a good time except for one filly that happened to be sitting somewhat near him. Applebloom. Spike found himself staring at her and began to notice some other parts of her body that he hadn't seen before. He stared at her delicate crimson hair and her gentle golden eyes. As he continued to stare, Applebloom began to notice his gaze. Hold on. Aren't Applebloom's eyes orange? Yeah, to me they're orange. Hey there, Spike. Applebloom greeted as she sat down next to Spike. Hey there, Applebloom, Spike replied. What's wrong, Spike? Aren't you enjoying the party? Applebloom asked. I am, it's just that... Never mind. Spike mumbled, unsure to tell the little filly of what he found. What is it? Applebloom dug deeper, trying to find out what was the matter. I can't tell you. It's supposed to be an adult thing. Spike tried to explain, making Applebloom all the more curious. Come on, Spike, just tell me, please. Applebloom asked the best as she could. Do you promise not to tell anyone? Cross my heart, hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Applebloom mimicked. Okay, well I found this magazine that's supposed to be for adults only. Spike began. Uh-huh. Applebloom leaned in for the secret. Well, it was a magazine of stallions and mares, and they were like wrestling. Spike tried to describe the pictures he saw. What's so special about it? Applebloom queried. No, when they wrestled, he was putting his stallion parts into her mare parts, Spike explained. Ew, why would any pony want to do that? Applebloom didn't seem to understand Spike. I'm not sure. It said that it was supposed to feel really good, and that you can only do it to a special mare. Spike said inconclusive. Does it feel really good? Applebloom asked, curious to why any pony would want to do such things. Yeah, it's supposed to feel amazing, Spike said, keeping his voice down. Really? Applebloom was certainly interested. Yeah, at least nothing I've ever felt before. Could you, show me? Ooh, yeah. Applebloom asked hesitantly. Yeah, you're a cool mare. I guess I can show you what I saw in the picture. Spike complied. Okay, you can show me in my room. Applejack doesn't like me doing crazy things in the house. Applebloom agreed and trotted off with Spike into her room. They both made their way up to the stairs, down the hall, and towards Applebloom's room. Along the way, Spike couldn't help but to feel the same warm feeling coming from his lower regions. By the time they had reached Applebloom's bedroom, he had already been erect. Hey, what's wrong with your willy? Applebloom asked unknowingly. This is what's supposed to happen. Don't worry, Spike said as he closed the door behind him. So, what exactly is supposed to happen? Applebloom inquired. Spike subsequently pointed to the bed, instructing Applebloom to lie down. As she did, he proceeded to lay it gently on top of her. His heart member inches away from her nether regions. Applebloom gave a worried gaze. Is it gonna hurt? She asked, looking down at his scaled member. I'm not sure. Maybe a little, but if it's true, this should feel really good. Spike assured as he began to slowly enter Applebloom's small opening. Spike gave a sigh as the tip of his light touched the mirror's delicate opening as he began to bury himself deeper into the inviting filly. He slowly inched his way deeper and deeper inside of her feeling an entire length enveloping the warm, wet hole. Applebloom moaned at the sudden urge of pleasure that rose between her legs as the young dragon began to completely fill her and his scaled shaft. Oh, Spike, this does feel good. Applebloom made out between moans as Spike began to quicken his pace. Yeah, we're just getting started. With that, Spike rhythmically began thrusting himself at Applebloom, making her cheeks slap against his thighs as they both groaned in pleasure. Spike's member easily slid in and out of Applebloom's walls as the lubricants naturally began secreting onto him. The magazine said it would feel amazing, but he never thought this would be this amazing after all this had been a completely new concept to him, and he wondered what else adults would keep it away from him. Applebloom's hymen at this point burst as she was being penetrated by Spike's hard chicken. Yes, I'm gonna say chicken. Screw you. Spike, what's wrong? Applebloom asked, looking down at her slightly red folds. It's okay. This is supposed to happen. He comforted it. But after that, she didn't care. She was lost in her pleasure. Spike's shaft filled the inner walls perfectly as he felt her tight kitty cat clenched down. Yes, I'm gonna say kitty cat too. Want to fight about it? Okay, no, here it is. Gripping down Spike's dick. Applebloom moaned louder and louder, suggesting for him to continue. Spike could just feel her juices secreting around his shaft, gripping him with the hot, soft innards that was Applebloom. Applebloom at this point was in pure bliss as her body begged for him to go deeper and harder inside of her. Spike took initiative and began a pace that involved taking his chicken all the way out and then slamming it back into her with force. Occasionally taking it out and gliding the tip of his chicken across her delicate and sticky folds. Applebloom soon began to worry as she felt a tense feeling inside her. Spike, what's happening? She barely made out between her moans of delight. Don't worry, I feel it too, Spike answered. I know exactly what to do. Spike added as he began to rub her harder and with his balls making a satisfying slap noise against her bare ass. But wait a minute. How can your balls slap against her ass? But I'm not gonna question the logic. Yeah, I'm not questioning the logic in the world of candy-colored ponies. Spike was rewarded with shrieks from Applebloom, encouraging for him to continue his pounding as they both began to sweat and sink. Spike himself could feel that same rising feeling coming from his balls, and he relentlessly slammed the mirror. Ooh! A spike from Applebloom could be heard a mile away as she finally climaxed all over her bed sheets, leaving Spike and her haunches drenched in a sticky fluid. However, that didn't stop Spike. He continued to thrash her as he himself arrived at his peak. With one final thrust, he pushed his entire length into her, pumping his dragon seed deep into her feminine flower. Ah! Spike hissed as he shot ribbons of hot cum inside her wet snatch. Oh man. Spike pulled out of Applebloom slowly, enjoying the pure state of euphoria that he was in. He then fell down beside Applebloom, both panting and closely holding one another. He gently stroked her rose mane, and as they both exchanged smiles to one another, gazing at each other and embracing one another in comfort. After a few moments of silence, they both shut their eyes, giving up to the warmth of them, and eventually falling asleep into each other's arms. The moon lit high in the sky, illuminated the two lovers who were embracing each other, smiling in their peacefulness in their sleep. Oh, damn. Wow. Yeah, that was actually kind of good. You know, I mean, yeah, there was actually like a lot of like grammar. I mean, a lot of the names were uncapitalized, and I guess I noticed a few grammar errors, but yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, yeah. Spike finds a porno, and then they fucked. The end. Seriously, fix this shit. Yeah, that was a comment from Dark Hubs 2862412. I mean, yeah, it has its. Yeah, the fanfic does have its, I guess, has its flaws, but it was good. All right, the next one will be Sweetie Belle, and the other one will be Scootaloo. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna act all pimp on their asses. Yeah, I can just imagine Spike with that hat that he had from Secret of My Excess, and wearing a fur coat with the Kingdom Hearts Crusaders in bed with them still. Yeah. Cue 70s blaxploitation funk music. Well, anyway, this is gonna be. Yeah, this will be my last video until I come back from Tropic. So yeah. Oh, yeah. If Super 5 is gonna definitely like this one. So okay. Alrighty then. Alright. Well, I hope you had fun reading that, because I know I did. So this is Gunner, YouTube name Gin Rollins 211, signing off.